Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rocky Turner.
Oh,
Hi.
I'm really wishing I had that second glass of wine next door.
So it's a lot easier to work for other people than it is to have people talk about you. So thank you for being here for us to be able to highlight all the good work that you do. I really love the name of your organization because it's not just a name that sounds good. It describes exactly what you do. I mean, you were fighting for these girls, and we saw how it took 2 years to move them from the dreary hospital that they were in into this wonderful environment that you've now created for them. So could you please share with us a little bit more about how you've been fighting for the girls for the past 6.5 years?
I mean, it started within the first 6 months of me getting to know them, where we found out that the original director of the home, was lying to us about how much things cost. And what we thought was $1,000 to send a girl that was really like $200. And so he was pocketing the money. And luckily we found out very, very early. And at that point, he never got another penny. And so
What did you do instead?
I had to travel there myself.
And how did you travel there?
I traveled there sometimes alone with lots of cash on my body. There was a trip that I had a money belt on, and I had one trip I had $10,000 strapped to my body. I haven't even told you this, I had about $24,000 strapped to my body. And we actually, at that trip, we ended up having to go to an IDP camp, and we were there for 6 hours, and it was very difficult for me to have that amount of money for different people while I was there at a refugee camp.
And you were taking that money and making sure that it went directly to...
Oh, it was difficult because I couldn't give it to him. And at that point, sometimes we had 4 girls going to school. The worst, we had 16 girls going to school, and they were never going to the same school. So I would have to go to a bank, transfer money, then go to the school, pay for the school, and then we would have to buy all of the things for the children. So you have kids. Mm-hmm. So if you had to send your child off to boarding school for 3 months, imagine all the things you had to buy. For 3 months.
Tell us what some of those things are.
Well, they're all girls, so that makes it worse. So, I mean, if we go from head to toe, I mean, you've got, hair and no makeup, but, toothpaste, toothbrush, bras, underwear,
These
uniforms.
are for the girls that are going to high school.
Yes.
So actually, maybe we should explain that education in Nairobi is free from kindergarten to 8th grade, but that term free is a little bit misleading. Can you tell us why?
Well, it's free if you can purchase a uniform, if you can buy pencils and a bag, you have to get your books. So, I mean, if you're making $1 to $2 a day, but you have to spend in American dollars, $100, that's really, really tough. And if you have one child versus 4, you're most likely going to pick the boys to go to school and not the girls.
And so what is high school like then? Or not high school, 8th, 9th grade on, so that they understand the boarding school aspect of it.
Well, for us, the girls go off and they're gone for 3 months. And it's year round, so they come home every 3 months. And that's when we get to go visit them, is during those months off. But for us, our sponsorship is about $1,500, and that's for the entire year. And that will take care of their tuition to go to school, any kind of extra, they call it tuition, it's the supplementary things that we can do for them if they're not doing well in math. From book bags to their books, everything that we all go to Walmart to get for our own kids. That's what they need.
And you partnered with Mrs. Gatomi, and she's been a wonderful partner. Can you tell us why she's been such a wonderful partner for you?
Well, the first time we met, we just clicked. And we met by happenstance. Actually, it was kind of a secret.
Tell me this.
Stories you don't know. And because the director didn't want us to meet. And I think now I understand why he didn't want us to meet. And when we met, we clicked instantaneously. And I found out she was a mother of 7. And we just sort of talked about what our dream and hope was for the girls. And after an hour-and-a-half conversation, we knew that both our vision and what we wanted, and the values that we had to where we wanted the girls to be and what kind of women we wanted them to be, they just clicked. And we haven't stopped.
And Mrs. Gatomi also knows from firsthand experience what it's like to fight for her own education. Could you please share that story with?
Well, first of all, she's got, I don't know, like, I can't keep count, like 14, 15 brothers and sisters. And so she was one of the, she's one of the older ones, but even her younger brothers got to go to school, and she wasn't allowed to. And so she would actually sneak into her brother's homework and do the homework for them, and the principal found out and asked to see her, and she thought she was in trouble. And the principal ended up sponsoring her, and she got to go to school. It was really cool. So she knows more than anybody. I mean, she's it.
Also, for everyone here to know, Mothers Fighting for Others is a 100% volunteer organization. All the money raised goes straight to the girls. You've already told us a little bit about what that is like, but people do go and volunteer there and spend their time. Can you tell us what that part of it is like?
Well, you got to pay for your own ticket, since it's all volunteer.
And they go for a week, 2 weeks?
It matters what you can do. I mean, we are well, you want to go when the children are there. So normally we go in April, August, or December. Those are the times that we get to go, because we want to spend the most time, we can with them. And we just kind of hang out. I mean, it really comes down, now we get to just hang out.
You say now, there's pictures of people painting.
Yeah, when we first moved in the home, I feel really bad. We've got, 2 board members, Jen and Ashley, who were there when the second trip that we had to, do that to the house. And, they retiled bathrooms, and we had a lot of work to do. Even though it's a house, they went from a old hospital setting to an actual house. It was just really, it was really bad. It was really bad. You wouldn't want to pee in that bathroom.
So one of the other things that you mentioned in the video, obviously, is how an education can change the life of a girl and change the whole community as a result. But the community at St. Monica's Children's Home in Nairobi has been very supportive of you guys.
Absolutely.
Because now the home, you've grown to how many girls?
We have 44 children. We do have 3 boys.
3 boys. And so now you're kind of busting at the seams. So what did the community do for you guys?
Well, we knew that this house wasn't going to be able to hold us. First of all, we're renting it, and the landlord is, every month he's like, when are you going to leave? When are you going to leave? And so Mrs. Gatomi took it upon herself to purchase 20 acres of land. She, out of her own bank account, and took her own loan out, and that kind of. She's dedicated, and her whole family's dedicated to it, and she's put on her own fundraisers there. The Kenyan community have helped literally raise the building. So we're on the 2nd floor of the building now. But that's just that portion of it. We have times when, even though we do send money, it's just simply not enough. And so the community comes around, and you got 90 kilos of rice, and now we can feed the girls for a month or 2. It's big, from clothes to food. But the coolest thing about Mrs. Gatomi is if you can't give something, then spend time, because not a lot of visitors might come. Family members might not be able to come, and just speak to the girls. Be advocates for them, especially young, educated women are always welcome to the house, because they're role models for our girls. So it's really cool.
Well, Rocky, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you and meeting you, and we wish you and the girls many, many more victories on your journey. Thank you so much. Let's hear it for Rocky Turner.
Thank you so much.
That segment just made things so clear. I want to buy all those kids their school gear. Well, you'll have to wait, 'cause we're still doing a show here.